Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Azmi bin Zainuddin. My metric number is AD200117. Today I will conduct simple experiment about the conduction. Before we proceed with the experiment, the conduction is the transfer of heat by means of molecular excitement within a material without bulk motion of the matter. The apparatus that I used to run the experiment is metal spoon, candle, lighter and pepper pins. First, we melt the wax on the metal spoons and stick the pepper pins on it. After that, place the flame at the end of the metal spoons and observe. As you can see, the pins start to drop one by one as the wax that stuck them to the metal spoon melts. The first pin to fall is the one that closest to the flame, and the last one to fall is the one at the far end of spoon. This can be concluded that the heat from the flame is travelling along the spoon from one end to the other. The transfer of heat takes time to move and it is not instantaneous. This is called the conduction.
Okay, so we'll proceed about the convection. Convection is a process by which heat is transferred by the movement of a heated fluid such as air or water. Natural convection results from the tendency of most fluids to expand when heated, example to become less dense and to rise as a result of increased buoyancy. Circulation caused by these effects accounts for the uniform heating of water in the kettle of air in a heated room. The heated molecule expand to space, they move into increased speed against one another, rise and then cool and come closer together again with increased intensity and a resultant sinking. The atmospheric convection currents can be set up by local heating effects such as solar radiation, heating and rising, or contact with cold surface masses, cooling and sinking. Such convection currents primarily move vertically and account for many atmospheric phenomena such as cloud and thunderstorms. Okay, so we'll proceed about the experiment. So we get the ice cube with the food flavoring. So we've put in the ice water and you can see that the heat absorbed by the convection is to release the water vapor is up. As you can see, the food flavoring is covered up with the jar. Many vapor comes up to fill the convection system. And you can see that I put this system up again. You can see that the ink and of the flavoring is absorbed by the water. We can conclude that convection is a heat transfer that water is exploded to the jar with the heat itself. And lastly, we'll proceed about the results and the conclusion. The particles of warm water move more quickly and spread out. They rise upwards through denser, cooler water which sinks to the bottom where it warms up. Eventually, all the liquids at the same temperature. The warm water rises as when liquids and gases are heated, they expand. This means they take up more room but have the same mass too, so their density is less than when they are cool. Substances with lower densities flow or substances with higher densities.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ilham Syarudin Rumali. My name is ECD 2046. So I'm going to present for the introduction of the radiation. The radiation is a thermal radiation referred to as radiant heat. Thermal radiation is generated by the emission of electromagnetic wave. This wave carry away the energy from the emitting body. So the radiation takes place through a vacuum or the transparent medium, which can be either solid or liquid. Thermal radiation is the result of the random motion of the molecules in matter. The movement of the charged electron and proton is responsible for the emission of electromagnetic radiation. So this is three types of example radiation can be happen in our real life. The first one is the microwave radiation emitted in the oven. This is example one of the radiation. The second one is a UV ray coming from the sun. Is one of example radiation. And the last is radiation stove burned by the heat fire.
On this part, we are going to do one experiment, which is the radiation on the stove that we burn. But first of all, let me introduce the apparatus and material that we use in the experiment. The first one is stove. The second one is the gas stove. Since the gas stove can produce a lot of the light energy in fire, it will be more benefit to use it. And lastly, the thermometer. Okay, so now let's start the experiment. Firstly, we need to make sure to record the temperatures. So we got 38.8 Celsius. Now put it to the gas stove here, then add up the fire. So now let's wait for the few minutes.
5 minutes later.
After a few minutes, we can see the stove look probably same, like nothing happened. But now let's record the temperature. So the temperature that we got is 39.6 or higher than. So as we can see, there are a lot of a different temperature before and after if we compare both of them.
Okay, so lastly, in our conclusion from our experiment, we can conclude that the color and material is one of the factors that radiation can easily happen. For example, we compare the color black and white and black. We know that black have the highest absorption, so it's easy to heats or like electromagnetic wave to transfer to the black color. So same goes to the material. If we compare to the iron and the wooden stick, we know that the iron is easy to heat up since iron have the high absorption. So the next one is the radiation can be dangerous and also bring benefit. For example, like benefit the radiation can do is same goes to our experiment, which is we can heat up the stove to make sure that we can cooking our food. And one of the example that dangerous is like a UV sun is not a good thing for human body and skin. And the last one, as we can see, the radiation can be happen all around us without us realizing. For example, in our home, we actually cannot, we actually don't realize it that the stove and the gas stove can be one of the experiment for us to do a radiation type. So that's all for me. Thank you.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Izzat Amir bin Musa. Number matric CD200139 and I am from section 4 for the subject heat transfer under Dr. Muhammad Azwan bin Safid, and I would like to summarize the experiment conducted by our group for the conduction, convection and radiation process. For conduction, in conduction we can learn that heat move and transfer through object, whether it is solid, liquid or gases, and the heat transfer through collision between the atom and molecule between the object in the object. And when the object is in contact has a large temperature difference, the rate of the energy transfer by conduction is higher for the process. And in conduction process, solid are the most efficient conductor for conduction, and liquid being the medium, and gas being the worst due to the particle much closer together in solid compared to the liquid and gases. In convection, we can learn that the transfer of thermal energy by particle moving through either a gas or a liquid is known as a convection, and the total kinetic energy of moving matter particles is known as thermal energy, and it is constantly transferred from material with a higher temperature to material with a lower temperature. And lastly, in radiation, the radiation is energy that comes from a source and travels through space at the speed of light through a wave-like properties that we call electromagnetic wave. And experimenting with radiation is important to humanity in order to find a new knowledge to be applied in research, such as in medical research to diagnose illness, and in high dose to treat disease such as cancer. That's all from me to summarize our group project experiment. Thank you.